Today, I want to talk about something that's often mentioned but not always fully understood: tax credits. Now, before you start thinking this is going to be complicated, let me assure you, understanding tax credits can have a significant impact on your finances, and it's actually a lot more straightforward and beneficial than you might think. So, what exactly is a tax credit? Well, at its core, a tax credit is a dollar-for-dollar reduction in the amount of tax you owe. And this is where it gets really cool, because unlike a tax deduction, which merely lowers your taxable income, a tax credit directly reduces your tax bill. If you owe $1,000 in taxes and you have a $500 tax credit, your tax bill drops to $500. Pretty straightforward, right? But there's a bit more to it than just that, and understanding how tax credits work can really make a difference when it comes to your yearly tax return. Let's start with the basics. There are different types of tax credits available, and they generally fall into two categories: refundable and non-refundable. The distinction here is important, so let me break it down for you. A non-refundable tax credit can reduce your tax liability to zero, but no further. In other words, if your tax bill is $500 and you have a $1,000 non-refundable credit, the credit will bring your tax bill down to zero, but you won't get a refund for the remaining $500. That credit simply maxes out at your total tax liability. Now, a refundable tax credit is where things get interesting. If your tax bill is $500 and you have a $1,000 refundable credit, not only does it wipe out your tax bill, but the IRS will actually send you a check for the remaining $500. And that's a huge benefit for many people, especially those who don't owe a lot in taxes or who might otherwise miss out on certain deductions. Tax credits can be especially beneficial for low to moderate income earners because they provide more financial relief than deductions. Now, you might be wondering, how do you qualify for these credits? Well, each credit has its own eligibility requirements, and these can vary quite a bit depending on the specific credit. Some are based on your income level, while others might be tied to specific life events or expenses, like education or energy-efficient home improvements. Take the Earned Income Tax Credit, or EITC, for example. This is one of the most well-known refundable credits, designed to benefit working individuals and families with low to moderate incomes. The amount you can claim depends on your income, filing status, and the number of children you have. What's great about the EITC is that it not only reduces the amount of tax you owe, but can also result in a refund even if you don't owe any tax at all. And this refund can be a significant financial boost, especially for those living paycheck to paycheck. Another popular tax credit is the child tax credit. This one is designed to provide financial relief to parents by giving them a credit for each qualifying child. The amount has changed over the years, and depending on your income, it can be a substantial help. What's more, part of the child tax credit is refundable, meaning if it exceeds your tax liability, you could get some of that money back in the form of a refund. This is especially important to know because with recent changes in tax laws, more families might find themselves eligible for this credit, and that can make a huge difference in their yearly budget. Speaking of education, if you're paying for college, or even if you're paying off student loans, there are a couple of credits you should definitely know about. The American Opportunity Tax Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit are both designed to help offset the cost of higher education. The American Opportunity Credit is particularly valuable because it's partially refundable, and it can be claimed for the first 4 years of higher education. The Lifetime Learning Credit, on the other hand, is non-refundable but can be used for undergraduate, graduate, and even professional degree courses. So, if you're pursuing education beyond a bachelor's degree, this credit could be really beneficial. And it's not just about education. There are also tax credits for adopting a child, making energy-efficient home improvements, and even for retirement savings. The adoption credit, for instance, is a non-refundable credit that can help offset the costs of adopting a child, which can be incredibly expensive. The energy-efficient home improvement credit encourages homeowners to make energy-saving updates, like installing solar panels or energy-efficient windows. Not only does this help the environment, but it can also save you money on your taxes. And the Retirement Savings Contribution Credit, often referred to as the Saver's Credit, is designed to encourage low to moderate income individuals to contribute to retirement accounts, giving them a credit for a percentage of their contributions. What's more, if you're a small business owner or self-employed, there are specific tax credits that might apply to you. For instance, the Small Business Healthcare Tax Credit is designed to help small businesses provide health insurance to their employees. This credit can cover up to 50% of the premiums paid by the employer, making it easier for small businesses to offer competitive benefits without breaking the bank. And if you're self-employed, you might be eligible for credits like the credit for employer-provided childcare facilities and services, or even the credit for paid family and medical leave. So then, how do you actually go about claiming these credits? The first step is to be aware of them, which you're already doing by watching this. The next step is to make sure you're eligible and to keep thorough records of your expenses throughout the year. When tax season rolls around, you'll want to gather all your documentation, such as receipts, W-2s, and any forms related to the specific credit you're claiming. And if you're not sure whether you qualify or how to claim a particular credit, it might be worth consulting a tax professional. They can help you navigate the process and ensure you're not leaving any money on the table. And speaking of not leaving money on the table, it's important to double-check your tax return before submitting it. Small mistakes can lead to missed credits, which could cost you money. Many tax preparation software programs will automatically calculate your eligibility for certain credits based on the information you provide, but it's still a good idea to review everything carefully. And don't forget, if you're filing an amended return for a previous year, you might still be able to claim a credit you missed. Another thing to consider is that tax laws change frequently, so the credits available this year might not be the same next year. It's a good idea to stay informed about tax law changes, especially as they relate to credits. This way, you can adjust your financial planning accordingly and take advantage of any new credits or changes to existing ones. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but it also sounds like a lot of work. And I get it, taxes can be overwhelming. But the thing is, tax credits are one of the most effective ways to reduce your tax liability and keep more of your hard-earned money. So, taking the time to understand and claim the credits you're eligible for is definitely worth the effort. And once you've done it a couple of times, it gets easier. You'll start to recognize the credits that apply to your situation, and you'll have a better idea of what documentation you need to keep track of throughout the year. Well, that's a wrap on tax credits for today. I hope you found this information helpful and that you're feeling a bit more confident about tackling your taxes. Remember, the more you know about tax credits, the more you can save, and that's money that can go toward your financial goals, whether it's paying off debt, saving for a big purchase, or just having a little extra cushion in your budget. And if you have any questions, or if there's a specific topic you'd like me to cover in a future discussion, drop a comment below. I love hearing from you all, and your questions often inspire the topics we cover here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next discussion. Take care.